The year 1998 marked a pivotal moment in Indonesian history. The authoritarian regime of President Suharto, which had ruled with an iron fist for over 3 decades, crumbled under the weight of economic crisis and popular unrest. The fall of Suharto ushered in a new era of democratic reforms, known as reformasi. This period saw a dramatic shift in Indonesia's political landscape. One of the key changes was the decentralization of power. The highly centralized system of the Suharto era was dismantled, with significant autonomy granted to provincial and local governments. This move aimed to empower regions and give a greater voice to the people. Elections became the norm, with citizens directly electing their president, governors and local leaders for the first time. This new era of democracy was not without its challenges. Building democratic institutions from scratch after decades of authoritarian rule proved to be a complex and often messy process. Yet, despite the hurdles, Indonesia has made remarkable progress in consolidating its democracy. The country has witnessed peaceful transitions of power through free and fair elections. Freedom of speech and assembly, once tightly restricted, have flourished. Civil society organizations have emerged as important actors, playing a vital role in holding the government accountable and advocating for reform. The 2014 election of Joko Widodo, commonly known as Jokowi, marked another turning point in Indonesia's journey. Jokowi, a former furniture maker and governor of Jakarta, presented himself as a man of the people. He promised to fight corruption, improve infrastructure and boost the economy. True to his word, Jokowi's presidency has been characterized by a strong emphasis on infrastructure development. Recognizing the critical role of infrastructure in driving economic growth and connecting the archipelago, Jokowi has embarked on an ambitious program of building roads, bridges, airports and seaports. These projects aim to improve connectivity, reduce logistical costs and attract foreign investment. Jokowi has also implemented policies to improve the business climate, making it easier for companies to invest and operate in Indonesia. However, the COVID-19 pandemic dealt a significant blow to the Indonesian economy, as it did to many countries around the world. The pandemic exposed the country's vulnerabilities and highlighted the need for greater economic diversification. Despite the challenges, Indonesia has shown resilience in the face of the pandemic. The government implemented a range of measures to mitigate the economic and social impact of the crisis. These included social assistance programs for the most vulnerable, support for businesses, and efforts to accelerate vaccine rollout. Indonesia's economic progress in recent decades has come at a cost to the environment. As the world's largest archipelago, with a vast expanse of rainforests, Indonesia plays a crucial role in global climate regulation. However, rapid economic development driven by industries such as palm oil, timber and mining has led to widespread deforestation and environmental degradation. Deforestation has contributed to climate change, biodiversity loss and increased risk of natural disasters. The loss of forests has also had a devastating impact on indigenous communities who depend on the forests for their livelihoods and cultural identity. The Indonesian government has taken some steps to address these environmental concerns. It has implemented a moratorium on new permits for palm oil plantations and has committed to reducing greenhouse gas emissions. However, much more needs to be done to balance economic development with environmental sustainability. There is a growing recognition within Indonesia that economic growth that comes at the expense of the environment is not sustainable in the long run. Finding the right balance between economic development and environmental protection is one of the most pressing challenges facing Indonesia today. It is a challenge that requires a concerted effort from the government, the private sector and civil society. Indonesia is the world's most populous Muslim-majority country. It is also a nation of remarkable religious diversity. The Indonesian constitution guarantees freedom of religion and recognizes 6 official religions: Islam, Protestantism, Catholicism, Hinduism, Buddhism and Confucianism. This principle of religious pluralism, known as Pancasila, is deeply ingrained in Indonesian society. It is a testament to the country's long history of tolerance and coexistence among different faiths. However, in recent years there has been a rise in religious conservatism in Indonesia. This trend has manifested itself in a number of ways, including the growing popularity of conservative Islamic preachers and the increasing influence of conservative Islamic groups in politics. It has also led to greater scrutiny of religious minorities and a rise in incidents of intolerance. The rise of conservatism in Indonesia is a complex phenomenon with a variety of factors at play. These include globalization, the influence of transnational Islamic movements, and domestic political dynamics. The challenge for Indonesia is to navigate this rise in conservatism while upholding its long-standing tradition of religious pluralism. It is a delicate balancing act that requires sensitivity, dialogue, and a commitment to protecting the rights of all citizens. Section 5. Navigating Global Currents. Indonesia in ASEAN, the G20 and beyond. Indonesia's growing economic and political clout has positioned it as a key player in the region and on the global stage. The country is a founding member of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, or ASEAN, a regional bloc that promotes economic integration and cooperation among its members. Indonesia has played an active role in shaping ASEAN's agenda, advocating for regional peace and stability and promoting economic cooperation. It has also been a strong proponent of multilateralism, engaging actively in international forums such as the United Nations and the G20. As the world's third largest democracy and a major emerging economy, Indonesia's voice carries increasing weight in global affairs. The country has been a vocal advocate for developing countries, pushing for greater representation and a fairer global order. Indonesia's foreign policy is guided by a principle of free and active, meaning that it seeks to maintain its independence while actively engaging in global affairs. It is a policy that reflects Indonesia's commitment to playing a constructive role in addressing global challenges. Section 6. Looking ahead. Challenges and opportunities for the world's largest archipelago. Indonesia stands at a crossroads. The country has made remarkable progress in recent decades, transitioning from authoritarian rule to a vibrant democracy, and from an impoverished nation to a rising economic power. Yet, significant challenges remain. Poverty, inequality, corruption, and environmental degradation continue to plague the country. The rise of religious conservatism poses a threat to Indonesia's long-standing tradition of tolerance and pluralism. The country's burgeoning population, while a potential asset, also presents challenges in terms of providing education, healthcare, and job opportunities for all. Despite these challenges, Indonesia's future is bright. The country is blessed with abundant natural resources, a young and dynamic population, and a strategic location at the heart of Southeast Asia. Indonesia has the potential to become a major global player, a model of democratic governance and a leading voice for developing countries. Realizing this potential, however, will require continued commitment to reform, good governance, and inclusive economic development. Section 7. A generation on the rise: Indonesia's youth and the digital age. Central to Indonesia's future is its youthful population. With a median age of under 30, Indonesia is a country brimming with energy and potential. This generation, which has grown up in a democratic Indonesia, is more connected, more educated, and more demanding of its leaders than previous generations. Indonesian youth are at the forefront of the country's burgeoning digital economy. They are embracing technology, with smartphones and social media playing an increasingly important role in their lives. This digital revolution is transforming the way Indonesians communicate, consume information, and do business. It is also empowering young people, giving them a platform to express themselves, connect with others, and participate in public discourse. However, the digital age also presents challenges. The spread of misinformation and hate speech online is a growing concern. The digital divide between those with access to technology and those without threatens to exacerbate existing inequalities. Harnessing the potential of Indonesia's youth and navigating the challenges of the digital age will be crucial for the country's future success. Section 8. From rice fields to shopping malls. The changing face of Indonesian society. Indonesia is undergoing a period of rapid social change. The country's economic growth has led to a dramatic expansion of the middle class, creating a new generation of consumers with disposable income. This has spurred a boom in consumer spending, with shopping malls, restaurants and entertainment venues mushrooming across the archipelago. Urbanization is another defining trend shaping Indonesian society. Cities are growing at an unprecedented rate as people move from rural areas in search of economic opportunities. This rapid urbanization is putting a strain on infrastructure and services in many cities. The changing demographics of Indonesian society are also reshaping social norms and values. Traditional family structures are evolving, with more women entering the workforce and delaying marriage and childbirth. The role of religion in public life is also being debated as Indonesia grapples with the rise of religious conservatism. These social changes are creating both opportunities and challenges for Indonesia. The country needs to find ways to manage rapid urbanization, provide opportunities for its growing middle class, and address the concerns of those who feel left behind by economic progress. Section 9. Finding the balanced tradition and modernity in the Indonesian soul. Despite the rapid changes sweeping across the archipelago, certain values remain deeply ingrained in the Indonesian psyche. These include a strong sense of community, respect for elders, and a deep spirituality. These values are reflected in the daily lives of Indonesians, from the way they interact with each other to the importance they place on family and religious traditions. One of the defining characteristics of Indonesian culture is its diversity. With over 300 ethnic groups and languages, Indonesia is a melting pot of cultures and traditions. This diversity is a source of national pride and is celebrated in the country's motto, Bhinneka Tunggal Ika, unity in diversity. The challenge for Indonesia is to maintain this rich cultural heritage while embracing the forces of globalization and modernization. It is a delicate balancing act that requires a deep understanding of the country's past and a clear vision for its future. Section 10. Indonesia's global footprint, from soft power to economic might. Indonesia is increasingly projecting its influence on the world stage, not only through its economic might, but also through its soft power. The country's rich culture, vibrant democracy, and moderate brand of Islam have earned it respect and admiration around the world. Indonesia has actively promoted its culture through initiatives such as cultural exchanges, film festivals, and the establishment of Indonesian cultural centers abroad. The country has also used its soft power to promote peace and dialogue, playing a mediating role in regional conflicts. As Indonesia's economy continues to grow and its global stature rises, the country is well positioned to play an even greater role in shaping the 21st century. Its success in navigating its own challenges, from democratic consolidation to economic development and environmental sustainability, will provide valuable lessons for other developing countries.